Good morning, good evening. I'm Patrick. Welcome back to Rustaholic. We are still working on my 1969 Plymouth Fury III. What we're going to be trying to do today is knock out this traditional list. This is some of the final, all the little things that we still have to do, like accessories, radiator and fan, oil lines, things of that nature. We may even, I'm not promising, but we might actually get it fired up today. I don't even know, but we're going to try. But first up, we're going to try to take care of the power steering and alternator. We'll get that in place. And then I think we'll follow that up with the coolant and fans, which I have a new electric fan. I am going to put, I don't know if you can see it back here, a transmission cooler as well this time. And hopefully that'll help any further events with the transmission. But I don't know, we'll see. Let's just jump into it and we'll go for the power steering first. Let's do it. Just going to try to test fit it. I don't really remember how this goes, but I didn't take this apart for that reason. But all right, I got these. They're going to go there. What is this doing? Going there? Like that? Is that it? I think that's it. That looks right to me. And then this would be our adjustment here. All right, let's do that. Apparently, to get to this bolt, I got to take the fan off. Pulley. So, thought I was getting ahead here. I'm adding the thread locker. This guy. Let's just. All right. They're all started. Alright, lines. This looks pretty straightforward. This is going to go right there. And this guy is going to go right there. Should be able to do that. Alright. Alright, I was just trying to figure out how this alternator goes in. I've got a whole bunch of spacers, some long bolts, and a couple brackets. I even tried to look at my old video, but there's nothing clear. All I know for sure is this is going to go here, and then somehow, maybe? I'm not sure. I'm going to do this one first, get the alternator in, get the spacers right, and then we'll figure out where this guy actually is supposed to go. That's the plan. Remember, you're going to want thread sealant on these guys when they go back in. I think, at this point, I know how this is going to go. It actually goes like that. Got a little spacer, then the bigger spacer, and then all the way through. So, let's try it. Alright, how do you really do that? Dropping that for sure. Doesn't fit! Doesn't fit! Come on now. I feel like this is one of those third arm situations. I just had one more hand. This would be easier. Like that. Where's my chisels? Who tightened all this stuff up? Alright, let's just leave all that for just a hot second. That's not it. So we got the power steering and the alternator in. Excited about that. Next we're going to move on to coolant. So I do have an intercooler, or not intercooler, I've got a transmission cooler I'm going to add. So we're going to attach that to the front of the radiator. Then I'm going to attach the fan to the back of the radiator, sandwich all that together, and then we're going to slip it in. I have done a couple things in preparation for this. I did drill a couple holes here, and for the cooler itself, because the cooler is going to be in the front, so those lines will come out this way. And I also cut out my old transmission line here and just flipped it, and it'll be the plug for the cooler line going this way. I'll show you that in a little bit. Do want to give a shout out to my Uncle Pat, Sundance Trading Company, for donating these little rubber grommets. I have a whole box of those, and I've been using them throughout the years. They've been in all my projects, so thank you, sir. Appreciate that. All right, let's get to the radiator. Let's do it. Turned around all excited to work on a radiator, and look at this bench. It's impossible. It's a disaster. You guys know how it goes, so have to spend a few minutes cleaning that up. But we did get accessories. I'm going to go ahead and scribble some stuff out on that. So, radiator fan. Clean this up, and then we'll get there. What the hell is all this stuff? Came with these little rubber spacers, insulators. They're a little bit big. I'm just going to cut them down a little bit. I know they're for vibration, things of that nature, but I just want to limit how much space I'm blocking here. That should be fine. gonna take these off. I just don't want them rattling. Alright, should be same process with the fan. Alright, we're going to try to make that work. Just trying to go real slow and steady with these fins. That's my main concern here. I have all of the holes pushed through. I did get pretty close on this bottom one here, and actually had to cut half of this little tab off just to get it to fit under the cooler. But also went ahead and trimmed up these little rubber stoppers that they have, at least to match the plug there. So just gonna get all of these in. What the? What did I do? I got one wrong. One wrong. This guy's not in the right place. That's what happens when you have to do this multiple times. That was the first one I did, and it was hitting the cooler. So. Or that's the first one I did. Now I gotta put it back. Putting it back. Here we go. Alright. So as far as I can tell, they give you these springs. And I think they're just gonna fit just like that. And then this guy clicks on click, 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 and keeps pressure on it. That makes sense to me. There's no instructions, so you're just kind of like, you gotta guess. So choose your own adventure, really. But I think this makes sense to me. Except I only have 3 springs. I blame myself. Probably my fault. I don't know. After looking around, we've performed some magic. 2 springs become 1. Where's that extra spring? There it is. Alright, what were we doing? We were just going to go ahead and do that, I think. This is it. It's going in. Seems to work. Boom! 1 fan and intercooler. Intercooler, fan, cooler, whatever. Alright, let's install it. Alright, it's going in. At least for the first time. First time I did this, I pulled this out like half a dozen times. with something. There. Ooh, that's tight. I think we're good here. Seems to fit pretty good. And I think we've got enough space. So I'm happy with that. It's really hard to get a good shot here, but you can see I've got the lines tied together. Everything is into the radiator now. Went ahead and double clamped those because, well, I don't have that furring tool to see on TV. But otherwise, I think we're going pretty good. And into the cooler. Awesome. Next. So next up, we're going to be taking care of the lower radiator hose. And you can see mine is kind of janked together. And you may have noticed that radiator, the outlet is actually on the wrong side. That was my bad, you know. So to compensate for that, I had to try to find a hose that would work and stretch all the way around to the other side. This worked just fine. However, in my previous implementation, I had a plastic connector in here. And over the 8-9 months or whatever I was driving the car, that started to warp out. And as we were pulling this apart, getting ready to pull the engine, noticed that was actually leaking anyway. So I did replace it with a billet connector here, but otherwise it was working fine except for that. So we're just going to put it right back in. So I'm going to get this back in the car, and then finally we'll be on the top side. Super exciting. Let's do it. All right, next up for us is going to be, I'm going to switch out this plastic oil pressure line. It connected right there, and I'm going to switch it out for the copper. I've never actually used the copper, so I'm hoping that it goes well. It really goes right down here, and into the car here, and then to the pressure gauge on the other side. So shouldn't be too bad, but I want to get this knocked out before I get too much stuff done on top here. So I've got it wound out just a little bit here. I'm going to try to feed it over and see how close I get. Alright, I'm already connected, so I'm going to go to the other side, see if I can get that locked in, and then I'll bring it around to this side here. Hey, so I finished up that task, but one thing I did notice was just how to cut this line. First thing I did was just snip it, and obviously that's not going to work because it just pinches it closed, so that's no good. I did have this tiny little pipe thing, and that actually worked. But even with this, wrapping it a couple times, that seemed to work a lot better. I did try to open it up a little bit and then file it a little bit just to get it straight. But anyway, just wanted to share that. That's how I got through that little issue. We're doing pretty good today. Actually marking stuff off the list. Radiator and fan, that's done. Well, there's still the digitals. Digis. Oil line, done. Carburetor, yes, that would be fun. But I think what we're going to do is finish up the coolant. Actually get that totally dialed in. So put the thermostat and the water neck on top. And then, finally, the carburetor. Alright, I got it ready to go in. That might be overkill, but this was sitting in here just a little bit loose. So I wanted to make sure that it gets locked in. Probably not going to be actually filling this with coolant in the next 24 hours, so this is going to dry up just fine, I think. It's 180 degrees, just for the record, so I can know that when I come to the video in a year from now. Alright, we made it to carburation. That's exciting. Nope. Yep. Let's do that. And this piece of bling, look at this thing. It's a piece of metal that costs like $150. It's like half the cost of a carburetor. But I needed it. So now I have it. Test fit. Ooh, that's exciting. I think it's good. might use this bolt here, put some thread right here, and be able to hold this back, you know, zip tie it. But I think we're going to basically have what we want here. Going to have to do some final adjustments here. Let's get the rest of this locked down first. Alright, I'm going to find the threaded bolt for that. We'll get this thing locked down and maybe even make this final adjustment here. And then we'll check it out. Alright, carburetor is on. Very excited. Everything is dialed in. Got the spring on. Everything is clear and free. Even got a little excited and hooked up the fuel line here and the alternator digitals. So that is all set and ready to go. Whew, we're close. We really just got to put some fluids in it, finish up the digitals for the fan, and the exhaust. That exhaust, getting that finalized is going to be the challenge. So I think we're going to call it for today's episode. Thank you guys very much for watching. And in the next episode, absolutely, we're going to fire it up. Absolutely. It's got to happen now. That's all that's left to do. That's it.